Mr. Chairman, and my dear brothers and sisters. The topic, as announced by the chairman, is Jesus and Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon them both, upon all His messengers. A comparative study of these two mighty messengers of God. See, in our own language, if we use these names, Jesus, we would have said Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. We would never say Isa. As Muslims, if our learned men in our masjids, in our private halls, Muslim halls, if they came to talk to us, lecture to us, and say Isa for Jesus, we would kick him out. But you see, usage, the Western nations, they call Jesus, Jesus, because they think He's God. Therefore, there's no Mr., there's no Reverend, you don't call Him Bishop, you don't call Him Pope, you don't call Him Prophet, you don't call Him Messenger, they just say Jesus. So I can't help it. Because of that, I said Jesus and Muhammad, may peace and blessings of God be upon them both. Where do we begin? The name itself, Jesus. So I can't keep on saying Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now people will know, what is this guy trying to hypnotize us or mesmerize us? So you will have to bear with me, my dear Muslim brothers. You'll have to bear with me. This is how the Westerner understands Jesus. See, at the debate that took place on Sunday between myself and an American Palestinian Christian from America, Dr. Shorosh, one of the objections he had against the Quran was that in the Quran, the name for Jesus is Isa. We say Isa alayhi salam, is Isa. And he said that was not his name. In his native language, in the native language of Jesus, his name was Esau. That's a common name among the Jews, Esau. The classical for Esau is Yeshua. So he says, now look, in the Quran he's called Isa. That's his objection. He should have been Esau in the Quran, not Isa. As an Arab, he ought to have known that Arabic and Hebrew are sister languages. They are almost identical. And the name Esau and Isa are similar. The language is identical. We say Ahad in Arabic, they say Echad in Hebrew. We say Salam in Arabic, they say Shalom in Hebrew. We say Yawmul Jummah, means the day of Friday, day of gathering, they say Yawmul Sabah, Yom. They're similar, almost identical. Esau, Isa is a variation in the Arabic tongue for Hazrat Isa alayhi salam or Esau. But now we have a chance of asking them, the Christians, where did you get Jesus from? Look, Esau and Jesus, they're poles apart. Esau and Isa sounds almost identical. Esau, Isa. But where you get Jesus from? Amazing. You see, they can't see it. Jesus Christ, he said, judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured unto you. So you hypocrite, why seest thou the mote in thy brother's eye, and seest not the beam in thine own eye? Jesus says, you hypocrite, take the beam out of your own eye first, before you try to take the mote out of your brother's eye. That splinter. You've got a beam in your eye, and you can't see that, and you're seeing the little splinter in your brother's eye. Jesus. Where does the word Jesus come from? See, this is the Latinized form of the Hebrew word Esau. Latinized form. Subject people, all subject people, they suffer from an inferiority complex. They would like to make their names sound like those of the ruling race. We might also suffer from such sicknesses. My son's name is Yusuf. So people will call him Joseph or call him Joe. Is it not so? The name may be Ibrahim. You say Abraham. You like to make it sound like that of the Englishman, your rulers. Now, the early Christians had the same sickness. They wanted their names to sound like that of the Romans, not like those of the Jews. Esau sounds Jewish. They didn't want their God's name to sound like a Jew. So they Latinized it by adding J. Where there was no J, they added J. Jesus. And they have a sickness for adding J's where there are no J's. Yusuf, they say Joseph, add a J. Yaqub, they say Jaqub. Ayub, they say Job. And everywhere where there's no J, they add J's to make it sound like that of the ruling masters, the Greeks and the Romans. Inferiority complex. So Jesus is not his name. His mother, when he was born, never called him Jesus. She must have called him Esau or Yeshua, not Jesus. But besides the point, his birth. According to the teachings of Islam, our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made us to accept that Jesus Christ, Christ again, is another word which they have translated from Masih, Messiah, to Christ. Sounds like Greek, Roman. Saul, one of the self-appointed disciples of Jesus, they call him Paul. See, Saul sounds Jew. So they make it Paul. Peter was not the name of Peter. Nobody ever called him Peter in his life. You know St. Peter's in Rome? Peter. St. Paul was not Paul, it was St. Saul. St. Peter was St. Simon. His title was Cephas. Jesus said, you are Cephas. Cephas means you are a rock. You are a hard fighting fellow, hard-hearted fellow. You are Cephas. Cephas in Hebrew means a rock or stone. So they translated that into Greek, Petros. And from Petros they got the word Peter. See, sounds Greek or Roman, Peter. But you say, Simon Cephas sounds Jew. They didn't want the heroes to sound Jews. So they changed the names.